Hello again, and welcome back to Granny Dorothy Visits. Today's topic is Don't Make Assumptions. And the first reading from Everyday Positive Thinking, Louise Hay's book, and this quote is from Ann Wilson Schaaf. Good communication is a balance of speaking and sharing, listening carefully and absorbing before you speak again. And the next one is from Julia Cameron's Heart Steps. And the quote at the top of the page is from Shakti Gawan. We will discover the nature of our particular genius when we stop trying to conform to our own or to other people's models. Learn to be ourselves and allow our natural channel to open. This is called Loyalty is My Gift and My Nature. I am loyal to myself and others. I am true to what I believe in, and I am true to whom I believe in. My values are grounded in spiritual principles. I place principles before personalities. I do not shape my loyalties to fit convenience. The bedrock of my life is valuing what I know to be real and true. On this I stake all else, that each of us contains divinity, that each of us is worthy of respect, that each of us carries a birthright of dignity and honor. Knowing this, I find loyalty easy, even effortless. Grounded in my own divinity, I am true to what I know to be the truth. And the last reading is from the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, R-U-I-Z. I don't know why I have trouble saying that, but I do. We make the assumption that everyone sees life the way we do. We assume that others think the way we think, feel the way we feel, judge the way we judge, and abuse the way we abuse. This is the biggest assumption that humans make, and this is why we have a fear of being ourselves around others, because we think everyone else will judge us, victimize us, abuse us, and blame us as we do ourselves. So even before others have a chance to reject us, we have already rejected ourselves. That is the way the human mind works. We also make assumptions about ourselves, and this creates a lot of inner conflict. I think I am able to do this. You make this assumption, for instance, and then you discover you aren't able to do it. You overestimate or underestimate yourself because you haven't taken the time to ask yourself questions and to answer them. Perhaps you need to gather more facts about a particular situation, or maybe you need to stop lying to yourself about what you truly want. Often when you go into a relationship with someone you like, you have to justify why you like that person. You only see what you want to see, and you deny there are things that you don't like about that person. You lie to yourself just to make yourself right. And then you make assumptions. And one of the assumptions is, my love will change this person. But this is not true. Your love will not change anybody. If others change, it's because they want to change, not because you can change them. Then something happens between the two of you, and you get hurt. Suddenly, you see what you didn't want to see before, only now it is amplified by your emotional poison. Now you have to justify your emotional pain and blame them for your choices. We don't need to justify love. It is there or not. Real love is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. If we try to change them, this means We don't really like them. Of course, if you decide to live with someone, if you make that agreement, it is always better to make that agreement with someone who is exactly the way you want him or her to be. Find someone whom you don't have to change at all. It is much easier to find someone who is already the way you want him or her to be, instead of trying to change that person. Also, that person must love you just the way you are, so he or she doesn't have to change you at all. If others feel they have to change you, that means they really don't love you just the way you are. So why be with someone if you're not the way he or she wants you to be? We have to be what we are, so we don't have to present a false image. If you love me the way I am, okay, take me. If you don't love me the way I am, okay, bye-bye. Find someone else. It may sound harsh, but this kind of communication means the personal agreements we make with others are clear and impeccable. Excuse me. Just imagine the day that you stop making assumptions with your partner and eventually with everyone else in your life. Your way of communication will change completely, and your relationships will no longer suffer from conflicts created by mistaken assumptions. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. Make sure the communication is clear. If you don't understand, ask. Have the courage to ask questions until you are as clear as you can be. And even then, do not assume you know all there is to know about a given situation. Once you hear the answer, you will not have to make assumptions because you will know the truth. That's so true about assumptions. You know, I can remember when we were kids, I don't know if you ever heard this, a little rude, but I remember being told, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. ASSUME, right? That's how I remember it. So it's much better to have the courage to ask and to be clear about things, because oftentimes, especially when we communicate nowadays through text and emails, you make a lot of assumptions because you don't see them, you don't get the body language to totally understand. So you just have to ask and be clear. Are you saying such and such? And most times, you know, our assumptions are wrong. So it's better to be clear and find the truth. So that will make your life a lot better, I would think. Just a little tidbit that I hope helps you. Okay? So I'll send you my love. Mwah. Until next week. Bye for now.